Welcome to Creative Vitality Jam Sessions. Here we have intimate conversations with extraordinary dance and theater artists about reimagining creativity and supporting and building community. Creative Vitality Jam Sessions and I walk in solidarity and as allies for equality, justice, and respect because Black lives matter, and we will stay in motion till change comes. I'm Helen Pickett, and today's guest is Raphael Coumes-Marquet. He is the stager for David Dawson and a guest teacher and an extraordinary artist. Raphael and I have known each other since 2012. We met in Dresden, Sempre Opera Ballet. Hi, Raphael.
Hello, Helen. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited and happy to see you.
Oh, me too. I love your t-shirt.
Thank you. It makes me think a lot of like a tattoo.
I was gonna say, I'm a little bit disappointed you're not wearing the superhero t-shirt I gave you. But okay.
Oh, that superhero t-shirt is still there. But
oh,
no,
still there?
Of course, if I'm wearing it very often, yes. Flash.
Exactly. So I asked the first question for everybody, what part of the world are you in?
I just arrived in Dresden, literally just arrived in my little hotel apartment room here. The suitcase is still closed in the lobby, there in the entrance. I just came out of the train.
Is it?
Luckily.
I used to stay in. Is it the same place that I stayed in, the one by the cathedral?
No. It's closer even to the theater. They're very nice, sweet apartments in Dresden. No, I think when you came here to work with us, this actually building was not finished.
Oh.
So they're pretty new apartments here.
Oh, wow.
But I normally live in Berlin.
Yeah,
you know that.
But did you give up your place in Dresden?
Yeah. Yeah. I moved out in November.
Okay.
I moved out in November, and I'm back here for 2 weeks to work for the company, for Aaron and the Sempre Opera. Oh. Very happy about that.
Are you teaching, or are you setting something from David?
So I'm here for to teach a pas de deux from David that I created and danced on the nature of daylight to Sofiane Silva and Carlo Dilano. Oh. Beautiful, amazing dancers. I'm so excited. And as you know now, the companies in Europe, they're starting to perform a little bit and try to organize performance. However, they have to be completely changed. The performance needs to be adapted. So that's why I had to come here to teach a pas de deux that was not planned before in other season. And dancers can dance together only if they live together or if they are married, you know. And so I'm super lucky that I managed to get a work, because it's really hard at the moment for freelancers. It's really difficult. Yeah. I guess you know. But yeah, in Europe, it's starting back slowly now.
Yeah, but I'm really happy you have this chance, and it's something so close to your heart because it was on you. You know it inside out. And I find I'm going a little bit off script here, but I find I'll start here and then I'll go back to the questions. But you know, you created so much with David Dawson, and you have felt this, and this is a little bit later, but one of the things I know you love to do and what you're so amazing at is partnering. And this quality of how you understand not only touch, but how you understand how the motion of your hands have so much direction and emotion in them that they actually, I have found when I choreographed on you as well, that they became an extension of the woman or anybody you were partnering. And this
that's exactly,
This is what I find extraordinary. Go ahead.
Oh, no, well, thank you. I'm glad you see this because this is exactly my idea of partnering. It's actually supporting and partnering the lady, the ballerina that is with you and helping her to achieve the best of herself. And the there is a little, I have to be, give you a little secret, a little side of me that think when I'm dancing a pas de deux is if I would be her, how high this leg would be. And I would go there. And I would put the leg there for her because that's how beautiful I want her to look. Then after that, it's Bill told me this, and he said, dance your partnering. And so you take care of your lady and your partner very well, but behind it, you have to just not decorate. I don't think decorate is the right word, but you just have to accentuate her line, if not go in opposition to her line, so you create a full sculpture together. You're not just there to just push her around. So there is a I never saw it as just someone behind supporting her. It was just me making a sculpture, being myself creative and an artist to support her. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Loved it.
I know you loved it and love it, and I know that's why. But you're also a really great teacher. I got to see you a little bit in
Charlotte.
Charlotte teaching this duet, and you also love to teach it, and that's not always the case. You know, great dancers are not always great teachers, but I also feel you really get in there and like me, you go into your dancers, you say, how can I make you look the most amazing you can be? And this is something else I really love about, well, I mean, you're a very kind person, but again, it doesn't mean you're a great teacher, but it's beautiful to see that is actually carried over. And I do have to say one more thing, and I think it's an English thing. What I said before, yes to the support you're giving the woman, yes, the secret of like, where would you like your leg to be? But I actually mean that when I've watched you partner, I've actually felt your hand. When it actually touches your partner, it feels like that's one thing happening. It's not just support, it's the energy of, yes, dancing with your partner, but it's the energy of, you said it, the form being created, but the energy between the two. There's an intimacy, there's an energy, there's giving over. There's giving over.
Yeah, there absolutely. You're absolutely right, and this is exactly how I try to help dancers when I teach or when I coach. This is exactly the focus of a partnering. I don't know if it's a gift in me, maybe because the size of my hands and then my ability to physically just understand the bone structure behind, so that I can just push the corner of that hip, so she will just turn faster and immediately when it's supposed to happen. But I've been coached and I've been taught by so many great people as well, great partners. And yet the whole thing come very much also from David, you know, how he approached pas de deux and how he pushed us to achieve movements and to achieve positions and things that you don't learn that in school or in class. It's impossible. You've got to experiment, and experimentation just come only while with doing it with the touch. I would in pas de deux very often. You talk about the hand and how much I can, you know, I like to just really get there, but the whole body is partnering. If my hand is at something, my elbow would just
Right.
go and just push the knee discreetly to the behind, so that up, that would give also a little help. That how many times I use just part of my chest just to support her as well.
But I think
it is, yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's it really. It's so physical, and it's you become one with her. This is what's important. Yeah.
I find this conversation very important because I also think, you know, for the people that do watch, this is an important conversation to hear about partnering, because it's one of the big things when I go also into the studio. I feel like I also have to impart this knowledge about partnering, that it's really about, it's a human thing. And yes, you're absolutely right. David's work absolutely is this intimate, you know, sweeping work that it really involves the whole being. So it's extraordinary work. Yeah. Raphael,
fun.
Here's your questions.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. You have devoted your life to dance in so many directions, in so many reimaginings. You are a soloist with Monte Carlo, with Vienna State Opera, with Dutch National, and then a principal with the Dresden Semperoper. You only recently retired, and I want to start with the multiple roles you interpreted as an artist who danced all of the leading classical roles as well as contemporary realizations, having so many ballets made on you. Can you speak to how you approached the character within these, let's say, these classical roles, first of all, how you created, how you transformed into these characters? I guess, what were your steps, or why did you feel you need to do it? And of course, were some roles easier, like the villain or the dramatic hero, or comedy or tragedy? You know, I'll stop there.
Yeah. No, it's a very interesting question, and somehow there was not one rule for it. Through all these years, I've been going through everything, and also it depends on someone's maturity when they approach each role. So I wouldn't, if only I knew earlier how to approach a role, I would have, you know, done my first Romeo and Juliet much better, because my first Romeo and Juliet, I was so young that was probably so focused on making it technically through the end, and really just giving the most I could. But later on, you start to understand better how to prepare yourself. How I did myself, it depends a lot on what if it was a creation, for example. If it's a creation, you follow very much the lead of the choreographer most of the time. Very often, I'm talking again about David, because my experience with him for Giselle, for example, was that we, together with Freya, yes, we had, before we started in the studio, a lot of talk and description on who is Albrecht, where he's coming from, what he's been doing before, why is he behaving like that. And so there was a real work on the character and the personage and who is he as a person, but not just who is he on stage on the moment of the ballet, but behind, with his first entrance when he runs in, what does he carry with him before he starts the full ballet, and how the character evolved until the end when he just let go of Giselle, you know. So that's an example, for example, that you work and you develop the character that doesn't exist. But then you have ballet masters for, I would say, take an example like Manon, for example, Macmillan, or you would have ballets from Joy Neumeyer, for example. And those choreographers for characters and for all the roles like this, you don't develop it. You don't really have the choice of anything. You have someone that just comes and tell you, and then at the end, if you're lucky, you have Joy Neumeyer coming to tell you what you're supposed to portray as an actor and as a dancer, as a performer. So you follow the lead, and you are more in a passive position about the role, and then you learn it as well as you learn the steps. So you have less of a creative input in it. But for me, it was always as interesting because I always liked that side of my job, was to just take the rough out. Don't, you know, it's fine. I don't have to, I think enough with what I have, but take myself completely into the character that is supposed to be done by the director, by the choreographer, and follow his lead. So there is all of that. Then after that, you add your little personal touch. Of course, you can't just be. You have. I mean, you know, I'm a principal dancer. I'm a dancer. I'm an artist, and I want to also. I'd like to carry my work when I go on stage. So then you get inspired by things around you, and I would just give the example of the ugly stepmother in Cinderella, for example, from Stain Sellis. A wonderful, wonderful role. You talk about villain. She was, I mean, yeah, she's a horrible person. And I just mixed the character between a very famous French comedian that also has a very particular look and way of playing, and my old French teacher in the school. That was, I promise, my old French teacher in the school. She was in class, and while we were doing work, she would go at the window and smoke the cigarette and have the voice like that.
I had a teacher like this too, with a cigarette
French
and a stick. No, American. But she had a stick and a cigarette.
Oh, a stick in class. God, you guys are hardcore.
Well, no, this is one teacher I had when I was a kid.
I know.
Man,
yeah, so it's, you know. Yeah, but she was something. I liked her very much, and she wasn't a bad woman, but that's kind of, you know, like a bit like that. So it became the mother in law from, I mean, the stepmother from Cinderella. Yeah, so you see this, you get inspired with all the roles so many different ways, and you follow the flow of your own age and your own mood and your own inspiration. And a role like Swan Lake, when you're a dancer, you've seen it dance so many times by so many different artists. So through all these years, I had so many opportunities to make choices and to decide for myself, oh, I like that, oh, I like that. And then you also have a ballet master most of the time that is there to support you and help you. So it's a matter of staying open and just, all right, let's go on that new project. Let's see where that takes me.
Yeah.
You know, I sorry, I just don't want to cut you again, but there is one thing I want to say. I don't miss dancing since I retired, but I miss playing a role.
Yeah.
You know, I miss getting into that kind of thing, the character stuff.
Yeah.
This was really extraordinary fun.
You know, it's funny. As you know, my entire career was with Forsyth, so we didn't really have this traditional narrative, but he always told us to create our own story. right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't miss dancing either. But I tell you, when I've created these 2 full lengths, the I guess I'm going to use the word joy, but I don't really mean that. I mean, like getting into this narrative
Mm-hmm.
and then thinking, oh man, that would have been a great role. But again, not the dancing, but to feel that role.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do have the chance to feel the role and I can coach it that way, you know, like, but you have to be very careful as a choreographer not to put your own ideas, especially for a character, onto someone else. You know, I mean, you can give the flavor, you can give coaching, but you have to make sure it doesn't become so personal to you that it doesn't leave room for the dancer. And that's been a learning process for me, you know, to leave the room, to say, okay, these are the directions. Why don't we look at the text?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to leave room. Because
Yeah, I see it, but it's the role of the dancer to also give as much as he can to adapt and just to interpret what you want. You're the director, you're the choreographer, and what I liked of by being a dancer was very much I was an instrument. I felt very much, and I don't mean it as in a negative or bad way. This is us, our body and our mind and our interpretation is your instrument for you to just portray something. Then yes, of course, there is some freedom. I mean, a little bit of space you've got to give, but a lot to do with this space, I think, is can be controlled by the dancer. Should be controlled by the dancer too, not to not overstep, but just to always respect and always just analyze what you want as a choreographer too, I think. So of course it's nice to work together.
exactly, it's the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Um,
Because you were no, sorry. It's funny because the timing of the sound. So I feel like I want to start something else, but you go on to the question.
no,
Sorry.
I want you to continue. What did you want to continue?
No, I just wanted to point out that your whole career was based on you as a dancer giving input and being so involved into the creation of anything. You know, that's what I mean by this the fact that the dancer is more or less responsible to understand how much he can add and how much he needs to take from you or from any choreographer.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I know you pretty much danced it all, but is there a role that you did not dance or you would have liked to have danced? Maybe not.
I was lucky because to be honest, when I was young, I thought, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I danced more than I expected it to do. So I'm super happy and proud of that. But I would say again for the role Degriyeux in Manon,
Oh.
somehow this never came along when I was dancing in any companies I was in. And I think the character is so interesting. The the choreography is just amazing. The pas de deux, and I grew up, you know, in Paris Opera where this was performed by the most amazing dancers of the time, and I saw so many performances. This would have been really a dream. Now I think about it, that dream, maybe it's better it stayed a dream, because when you work on the role and you dance it, you don't see it the same anymore. You just see all the technique and you realize all the difficulties behind it. So that role stays for me pretty much of a, maybe yes, a fantasy, something I would have liked to do for the role. Another one, for the fun. I wish I experienced that once in my life. Would be to dance Bolero from Ravel, from Béjart. The Béjart, the Maurice Béjart version of Bolero with that podium, that light, the music, the dances around. That must be such a thrill to perform. I don't
But you're
know.
a god.
Huh?
You're a
Sorry?
god in that.
I mean, it's beyond.
Yeah. You're a god.
It must be amazing every time I see it. And I saw some beautiful versions and dancers doing this, and it takes me so. It's like, wow, how much it must feel so incredible to perform that. So maybe that one too, but this is just for the shower room, you know.
Okay, you now stage David Dawson's ballets and you guest teach at Monte Carlo and Semper Opera. When you stage David's ballets, we kind of went into this, so there are certain aspects, that you need or that you feel like you need to give more focus than others? You have said, I read this, you said, I've taken class for 25 years, but you still have to come into the room with fresh eyes. You said that in an interview. And is this how you approach staging? So I guess the two questions are, do you find that when you stage, you are focusing? It's kind of a strange question because.
Well, there's two a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I understand. If I just go shortly again on the specific David work, what you ask, what do I need to do? I would say on my side, there is some other ballet masters that take care of his work, that do their thing really beautifully. But I feel for myself, I'd like to focus the most on the musicality and on the clarity of the arms and the hands of his work. This is for me what defines his work. So unless all together, this is it. But I realized slowly that my focus is very much all the time on musicality and on the clarity of the arms and the language. I want to read the language. Like if they explain, they want to teach me the choreography, the dances. And then for the other question about what I said, going in the studio fresh every morning, true, but as a dancer. And I realized, funny enough, it's part of the transformation from dancer to ballet master, which is not that easy to understand and to feel. At least for me, it took me a while to really get it. As a dancer, you come in, and I agree again with myself, that you come in a studio and it's the best to come every morning, fresh, zero, start and learn everything again, absorb everything from the top. Doing this as a coach or as a ballet master, it's actually wrong. I tried to do this because I wanted to share the experience again of teaching the piece or creating something with a choreographer and the dancers, and I felt like, all right, let's recreate that what I experienced before, fresh, new, and then we work. But in fact, when you go and set a piece somewhere, you coming with luggage, you coming with knowledge, you coming with clear vision of what you want to do. First of all, how you want to organize your rehearsals. What do you start with? And then you have this whole work to do before on, do I start with just the choreography and I put the music after? Do you do this together? Do you have to organize all of this? And then after that, it's not really fresh eyes to see the dancers. I have to tell them exactly what the choreographer wanted at that moment. And for those steps, that's my job as a ballet master, was to take care of the choreography as accurate as it should be. And so no, I cannot go there anymore with total fresh eyes and new. I've got to go there with knowledge, and I'm the one emptying myself for an hour, 2 hours and a half, maybe 4 weeks, and then after that I'm empty. But as a dancer, you're coming empty, and then you just take the information. Basically, I'm like downloading a program from my hard drive to another USB key, and then I end up empty at the end of the process.
Yeah.
It's another way of thinking about it. Maybe that's my view now on that subject.
No, I mean, I think it's beautifully explained, and I couldn't agree more. I really feel that. But let's say you're going into a new company, you don't know any of the dancers.
Mm-hmm.
You have to cast the ballet.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't there a sense of new that you have to embrace and say, okay, these are a set of artists I don't know, and I don't know what's possible yet because I have to get to know them. I mean, isn't there a sense of embracing the new there?
Yeah, but it's very personal. But for example, that's the thing about what I understand now from what I'm doing is that I do have to look for a picture more than getting to know the dancers first. This will come after, and this will the fresh eye is to how do I approach that person that I don't know to do what I want them to do, because you have one person here and one dancer here and the other one here. You have to talk to these two dancers completely differently to achieve exactly the same correction. And that is where the fresh eye is coming, is because when you start a rehearsal, you take time to feel how the dancer respond to your words and how she or he understand what you're trying to say. So yes, that moment there is new and fresh eyes. But it's when I cast, for example, if I have to cast, it's I think I have to see the pictures, the physicality that will be required, but also what kind of the energy the dancer will give during the audition, so that it fits the right place, which is most of the time based on the first cast. It's not like you're trying to recreate the first cast. It's impossible, and you shouldn't. But you can't help it. I can't help it sometimes to, this is Yumi's role, this is Sofiane's role, this is, this is it. And then so as much as possible, especially if you're part of the premiere, you try to relook that little sparkle that just reminds you of the first cast. It's like casting quintet. For you, it's like vertiginous.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, no,
The roles.
I hear you. I hear you.
The roles have your names on it still.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, and the memory is there, no matter what.
It's there. So, yeah, you come with stuff behind, and your job is to recreate as authentic as possible the first piece. That's what people want to see, that piece. It's like you want to come and see, you know, you go and see a painting, but it has to be as the same. I mean, they cannot take the old cast from vertiginous everywhere to just perform it anymore, huh?
Oh, I wouldn't want to see me perform it anymore, let alone get the
But
costume.
you know, you have to recreate what Bill
Yeah.
had just
I get
made,
it.
because that's his piece.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Oh, here, this is great. You were the project leader and coordinator for Semper Zwei, essentially the director. It's my words. Of that, no, of that,
Yeah, fine. Okay, yeah. I will. Well, you can't say the director. I mean, I
no,
was
everyone's
very,
correct.
very lucky to. Yeah. But I was very, very lucky to work together with the director, Mr. Weiss in Dresden, but and Aaron, of course, and they both gave me so much. They trusted me so much, and they gave me so much confidence that I was just in charge. Yes, and I was making a lot of decisions, but every decision was approved and talked through with both of them.
Well, it's a good team, but you were
Exactly.
part of a direct
Sure.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Very
Um,
happy.
so here's the question. Would you like to be an artistic director in the future?
Yeah, definitely. I could totally, I feel it. I could totally enjoy it. Now, you know, your jam sessions is about creativity and keep on, you know, how to
Reimagine.
continue being creative. Yeah, reimagine creativity. And I think that would be for me the way to stay creative in my field, would be to make those kind of decision of deciding a season, what kind of performance should be played in that special company or special theater. And also, I'd love to take care of the dancers and help them to develop, to um, become better, and also to develop their personal career. How long they stay with the company, it doesn't matter, but to take care of them and the new generation, and to build a real feeling of a family and a group, and hopefully give them some inspiration. That is something that I feel like I really love to do. It would be a privilege, yeah, to have a kind of a position.
Yeah.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
That family thing, I'm the same with you. Feeling that family, you know?
Yeah,
There's
it's
something greater.
yeah, because I've been in some situations through my career where the the, the osmosis, no,
Osmosis.
os, osmosis within the group was so strong, and it was such an amazing experience to be part of that group, and create and go on tour together, and just yeah, and just to be part of something great. Yeah,
Mm.
I the two example, I have Monte Carlo Ballet with Jean-Christophe Maillot, that just with whom I've been so lucky to work and be part of. And the time I was there was really at the beginning, the first years when he took over. And the first years of something are always special, right? Because together you create something, you just build something, and you're part of this new, like, you put the matches on and there's sparkle everywhere. And we had the same experience in Dresden in 2006 with Aaron, when we all joined together and the company started new again, and it's just like bam, you know, big bang. And the energy in the studio was unbelievable, unbelievable, because so many new dancers in the same time, on the same moment, that everybody had to prove themselves to the others and to show, to see, everybody had to find their own place. So the power of work during the day was just, it's like a volcano. The work was amazing. When you join a company and you're new, you arrive somewhere, you don't know anything, you have to prove yourself. You go in there and you work really hard. When you're in a company for a few years, you know, you learn to take care of your body. You can't go on like that forever, just bash, bash, bash. It's impossible. You have to take care of your body, and you have your repertoire, you have your things. But at the beginning, when you join a new company, and if you're alone and you're new, you work hard to just show who you are and then to make your place. Imagine joining a company where 35 dancers out of 60 are new. So it was crazy. It was amazing. And that feeling of a group, and that feeling of creativity, and that feeling of osmosis, I still drives me today. And I guess my big dream would be to be able to recreate that, you know.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
mean, that energy is amazing. It's, you know, a similar energy. I think that's something I'm drawn to, and something also like you, Beth, that I grew up with and I was a part of with Bill. You know,
Yeah.
and I think when you know that as a dancer, and then you go on and you stay in the field, there's this memory there. Because it's more than a memory;
Mm-hmm.
it's a physical feeling. It's
Mm-hmm.
emotional attachment about the excitement, like you said, and the risk of the new. And there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we've spoken a bit about this, but I still want to ask the question. You said something beautiful in an interview about growing out of insecurity, growing out of it, right? Can you speak to living a fulfilled artistic life and creating a network and believing in yourself? This growing out of insecurity, I find such a beautiful way of speaking about letting it go and the steps it takes. Yeah, can you speak a bit about
Yeah, it's this I remember this when I did this interview and I talked about this. And now what I want to say is that it never goes away.
no?
And thank God, because we are artists, and that's what make us grow, etc., etc. You know, that's the whole thing. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a great artist if you don't have great insecurity and great question all the time. But the insecurity never goes away, and there is always the demons that are coming back to you behind, and just go, are you sure? No. And then just like it builds up again and again and again, and you still have to do the whole work of um, stabilizing your bases, go back to your roots, um, listen to the deep inside you, what's the feeling is telling you to do. um, it's not just about, are you sure or not sure? Do you want it or you don't want it? If you want it, try it, go for it. You know, this is that's the thing. After a while, you know, of course we are insecure, and then we have questions, and they come back, and there is always gonna be people that just gonna be not liking you, or just think that you're not as good as you think you are, and then you have those voices coming back. But this is all your life. So this growing out of insecurity now, you never really grow out of it. It's just there, and it's growing up. You learn how to deal with it faster or better. But I find it really inspiring and refreshing, and I say this to anyone, to take a risk and to let go of security sometimes, because that is not good neither. You don't want insecurity, but you don't want security neither. And you can be so happy, you can be so satisfied with what you do. If somewhere something tells you, oh, would be nice to just feel that, well, just go do it, move on, just try it, you know. Or there is a situation where I just moved to Berlin freelancing, and that is, for someone like me that has a study job since I'm 18 years old, luckily. 18, I got my first contract, and I followed all companies one after the other without a gap. How lucky and how amazing that is. But then that's when you stop this and you become a freelancer, that you taste the real life. And then you know, it's not that easy out there. Real life is not that easy. And it's really good for me right now to just feel that and just to challenge myself with this new situation. So insecurity, fight against it, but don't run away from it.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
But I think that's what I meant, because I know you. Mm-hmm. And I think that, again, hearing this about, I mean, what you just described is beautiful, because you're right, the insecurity will never leave. And you're right, it is a part of being an artist. But you said something else, and the security as well. But you said something else, so what I believe in so much, the risk, man, it's everything as an artist. And you said it, you want it, by all means try it. If you don't want it, don't. But don't agonize over the don't. If the need, and I always speak about need, not want. If that need is there, it's why not? It's not why. Mm-hmm. It's why not? Mm-hmm. And you might, and how many times have we, I mean, I don't know if fail is the right word, but you know, we've tried things that have not been successes. But hello. But I would rather tried that and not tried it, because you learn from it. You say, I can take these 3 things from that thing that did not work, but I can put them in the next idea and develop that, and without room to fall. There is no risk. The fall, and sometimes that fall, I would say the fall is never as scary as you think it is.
No, you're right.
It's never as scary as you think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the landing, the landing is scarier than the fall.
Yes.
Bam! That hurts. Never land.
Oh man.
Just fall.
Just, without a parachute. Yep. I've definitely felt that. But again, I'm happy I did. I'm happy I had the chance. I guess that's it. It's what you speak about too. It's the chance to do it.
Yeah. Take the chance when they come to you. Mm-hmm.
So the last 3 questions, everybody gets them. Can you share a favorite or impactful memory? You've already shared so many, but something that comes to you spontaneously.
I can't spontaneously. I can't, because they are funny moments after 25 5 years of career, there is some funny blackout that I can talk about, and just like, you know, miss entrances and things that happen in your life when, yeah, you've got to laugh about it later on. I just share quickly a moment, but I hope I don't repeat myself. I just like think about the gray area right now, which was when the for me the starting point of the whole journey with David. He made ballet before, but the gray area was a very special one. And we were a small group of people, 5, with Sofiane, Yumiko, Jan, and Kumiko. And that building up to the premiere was such an experimentation, was such a hard work. We became like the 5, you know, we were in the evening together, we were having dinners together, we were experiencing physicalities and just pushing the limits. And the moment I want to share with you is that day of the premiere, when you stand on the side of the stage, you are just at the last look at your people with who you dance, saying toy, 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 and then you see everybody's eyes just looking at you going like, oh my God, it's happening now. I'm having goosebumps to talk about this because I still remember the feeling. And then the stage director, the regie, tells you, okay, 5 seconds, or God, I don't remember the timing, but so you can't talk anymore. That's it. You're not going toy, toy, toy anymore. You stand straight, and you're alone. Few seconds, and the curtain comes up. You face the side of the stage, and this moment of excitement and ready to perform, and just achievement of this work, and being part of such a creation, I'll be forever thankful to Mr. Dawson for that, but also to the 4 other colleagues I had with me. It was an amazing, amazing experience. Really, really, really beautiful. Voilà. A premiere.
Yeah. Do you have like a daily inspiration or something that you can tell us, something you do that you can share about living a creative life or something like this?
Not really.
Good.
Not really, because you just have to stay open and feed your senses. It can be a beautiful cake, it can be a beautiful painting, it can be
a bike ride.
Yes, just something, and just stay awake, you know, stay awake and look what's around you and pick something beautiful, nice, that just bring you something warm that can help you bring the energy up, and then that will sparkle the creativity. I think that, you know, just keep working. I'm not working getting money.
No, I'm not.
Working here, you know, just keep working, just keep it up. All the creative people, and you know what I'm talking about, they can't stop. They just can't stop thinking, you know. Just something stops, you have to do something else. This jam session is the best example of it all. And yeah, that's what's being creative, and I guess that's what it is. Just keep looking around and feel.
Yeah, beautiful. Last big question. It's a big subject. So thankfully right now, in supporting and building a more equal, more equitable dance community, what do you believe needs to be shifted or changed? I know so much needs to, but something.
I know so much, but it's so much that I'm almost right now. I'm almost confused, and it's okay. I'm going to go beyond the dancing right now. What I hear, I'm one of those who just admit that until the recent events, I thought things were better, and I just saw, and I'm talking now for America, for example, but I just saw 8 years of Barack Obama being a president, and I thought, wow, you know, that they are, that's it, you know, it's happening, it's coming. And I saw that, and then things happened. You're surprised, you get like, oh, just what is shifting. Then this year's events happen, and then all the movement happen, and all of that, and I'm like, I thought it was not. So what I learned from my friends I'm talking with, and all the people that all the things now I'm getting more documented on everything, and I read and I listen. So the first thing I want to change or to do and to tell everybody is just now, just listen. Stop thinking you know better or everything is okay. Just listen to what is going on, because this is actually real deep. And so I listen, and so I go on into documentation, and then so I read, and then so I move, and then it's becoming this enormous work that still needs to be done. So asking me what needs to be changed or anything, it's like, it's so much needs to be changed. There is so much from, even from the system, how it works, housing, and then, you know, I'm not going to go into all of that here because I'm not an expert neither, but so much needs to be changed. However, right now, maybe nothing should change in a way that keep going with this movement, everybody. No, don't change that. We need to just keep pushing, because and keep pushing the changes. You understand what I'm trying? It's not like I don't say nothing needs to be changed, but right now we are, it looks like we are on a roll. Pardon?
There's energy.
Absolutely. We have to catch the boat, and we have to just take it on. I heard you saying it in some other jam session though, about time, how much different people, or even big countries and societies and systems, they also need time. So we need just to keep our feet on the ground and keep going slowly by slowly, keep pushing, and never stop pushing, never walk the walk. That's what you say, right?
Yeah.
And
keep walking the walk.
Keep walking the walk, and vote.
And vote.
Vote. Because right now, this is our voices. This is how we can express. You know, you can't just forever go and just scream and break statues and goes in the street. It's not possible for anyone. We have to believe in our democracy, and we are part of the world where we have the chance to vote. We do have we can. So dance community,
I'm going to interrupt one thing. I hear you, everything, but the one thing that can't happen is we cannot, I agree to listening, but we can't be silent anymore.
Mm.
So
I'm talking for a specific
I know
part of the people. That was me.
you're taking in.
Listen, yeah. Yeah, because well, also in Europe, you know, we have a different outcome from what you live also over there with everything. It's coming very much differently. Everything like what you hear about Europe is not, you know, it's difficult to be feeling everything. So I do know a lot of people, and I'm talking about family and village and really ground people, not Berlin, not even Dresden or big cities, Paris and all of that. Those people, they need to just open their ears now and really hear what is going on so they will be able to say something and stop being silent. Absolutely, absolutely right. Yeah, needs to be said too.
Raph.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wow, what a year, no? It's
I hope it is like what we've been talking about in this interview, that very often in order for change to come, there has to be a big I don't know about you, but every time I got injured, a big injury, a huge shift happened in my life. And that's just a very small instance. We're in a huge turning point, I believe, in the world. And things have happened like this to, like you said, push humanity to the very edge. Where people perhaps are finally tired and say, no more. We must be an active change. And you know, so often change comes from very, 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 very hard times. And I'm just hoping that we've hit the bottom of the hard time. I hope the change is ready. I'm speaking about this country as well. You know, I really do. But I have hope. I do. I have a lot of hope.
Yes.
I have hope.
Me too. I really believe. Yeah. I believe in human beings and then in people. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, you do. You know, it's so funny, these interviews. It's they're such a gift because I get to talk to my amazing friends, even if it's for 1 hour and it's far away, but I get to feel you, all of you amazing people. And Raphael, you're one of them. You're just an extraordinary human being. And to go further in life with you, because we do meet, you know, we didn't know we were going to see each other in Charlotte, and we'll see each other again sooner than later. And I just want to say you're an exquisite human being, and it's my honor to know you. I really love you, Raph. And thank you for this interview.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again. And it's such a pleasure to be with you. And I can't wait for the next time we meet in contact, physical thing, and then we can go shopping together. I still don't know what's that little figure next to the Oscar. I think you've got to tell all your people. Oh, it's one of those.
He's King Bob. King Bob.
Yeah, that is wonderful. I love these two statues. I was wondering if I was gonna get the sunflowers.
I know. The sunflowers, they had a long life, and then one morning I woke up, a day of a show, it was like, they were both like over. I was like, uh-oh, better find another prop.
I'll send you some.
Please, yes, from France, exactly. Southern France. So thank you so much. I have a question. Do you have a website or social media or someplace we can find out more about you that you want to share?
Not really. No. I mean, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and I'll be following if there is comments on this page on YouTube. I'll be happy, but
said no. I love it. No.
No.
Well, okay, if you don't mind me until the end, I can tell everybody that he might not want you to know anything, but there is a short bio about Raphael in the description box below. When we upload this, we will be uploading this later today on Sunday. We have 2 sessions every week, Tuesday and Sunday. And our next guest is going to be a really old friend of mine, Natalie Meyjes. She's an installation artist. I used to watch her when she was in the company of San Francisco Ballet. And she was one of the cool company members who would talk to the students. So I have a very warm place in my heart for her. And I want to thank Gracie, my amazing intern who helps me so much every session. I want to thank my amazing dance community. I don't know what I'd do without you. You give me so much strength every day. And I want to thank Raph again. Everybody who watches, keep reimagining creativity. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.